The next part in highway engineering that we are going to discuss is about highway geometric design. Highway geometric design generally involves the design, in majority, it involves the design of horizontal elements and vertical elements. So, in that, if you generally mm, classify them or the different elements in terms of different elements, then it will be with respect to the design of horizontal curves, design of vertical curves. In that, if we are designing for a horizontal curve, then we are supposed to work on stopping side distance, overtaking side distance, and then intermediate side distance. Then if we are working on with the vertical curves design, then we are supposed to work on headlight side distance. So these are the different things that we are supposed to study in highway geometric design. And there are some additional components at the different intersections, what will be the side distance, how a setbacks need to be designed. All things can also be included in this part. Now, some of the horizontal elements and vertical elements that we are supposed to work is about cross-sectional elements, stopping side distance considerations, horizontal alignment details. In that, we will discuss about the super elevation, fixing of curves, fixing of speed and all. Then vertical elements, in that fixing of radius of curves based on headlight side distance. And then some intersectional elements, as I told you, stopping side distance at different intersections, then setbacks, how it need to be provided. All those things will be included. Now, what are the factors that going to affect this design of highway geometry? Major classification is on speed, that is specifically it can be called as a design speed, then topography, or it can also be called as terrain, then traffic factors, design hourly volume and capacity, and then environmental factors. These are the major factors that will influence on the highway geometry. It means they will be the reason for change in some geometrical parameters of a highway. Now, how exactly this design speed affects? As you all know, all the highways are with a different design speeds. It is actually based on the requirements of that project area, and of course, the change in design speed will definitely change the various parameters in the highway geometry. Like if you want to increase the design speed, then definitely you are supposed to go for a flatter curves. You cannot provide sharp curves where there is a need of high design speed. And then in what we call uh, high class highways or high volume highways, or expressways, major national highways, in all the cases the design speed will be almost 100 or more than 100. So in such cases, all the geometric features that we are going to take will be at the maximum extent of the safety. So very wide curves, and then wide carriageways, and supporting extra widening and proper super elevation, all these factors will definitely influence with the change in design speed. Then how topography will affect? Topography considerations especially affect when we are working with the vertical curve designs or vertical alignments. uh, when it is a plain or rolling terrain, then definitely there will not be a major changes that we can provide with the vertical alignments, because it will be in a plain terrain, and then there will be no need of the vertical curves, and hence there will be no need of changing the geometry. But when there is a change in a minor topography or terrain, then definitely there will be the need of vertical curves. Maybe it can be a summit curve, it can be a valley curves. So there are different types of situations where we are supposed to provide vertical curves that we are going to discuss when we are working on vertical alignments. But now this topography in such situations will definitely affect the geometric features of the highway. Then traffic factors, obviously increase in traffic will definitely need to uh, go for wider highways, means more number of carriageways, or in case if you just want to go for a small number limited number of carriageway, then at least a minimum width or sufficient width carriageway need to be designed so that volume by capacity ratio will not go beyond 1. So even these traffic factors will influence, and not only with respect to the number of traffics, but also the type of traffic that are going to use the highway will definitely affect the geometric features of the highway. Then environmental and other factors, as you can see, the environmental factors such as aesthetic, landscaping, air, noise, pollution, and other local conditions should be given due consideration at the time of design of highway geometry. Some of the arterial high speed highways and expressways are designed for higher speed standards and uninterrupted flow of vehicles, and this can be provided by controlled access and grade separated intersections, means by providing some barricades or by restricting the movement of transverse traffic. So by that we can provide uninterrupted traffic flow. In other situations, when you are having higher budget considerations, then it is possible to go for grade separated intersection also. These are the different factors that will influence the highway geometry. The next let us start with the highway cross-sectional elements. uh, Here the major types of cross-sectional elements that we come across is about frictional considerations, uneven considerations, light level reflecting characteristics, and then drainage of surface water. How this friction will influence, or how this friction can be treated as one of the highway element. Mm, when we expect that a vehicle need to move on a highway, then definitely there need to be some friction between the tires and pavement section. If there is no friction in between these two, then definitely that vehicle will continuously slip. It will not be in rest position, and it will not move in the required fashion. There need to be some sufficient friction between the tires and the pavement structures. If the lack of friction, then that vehicle may skid. If there is no friction, definitely it will slip. There are some important factors that influences these frictional elements, which can also be called as skid resistance in a technical fashion in highway engineering. There are some factors that influence this friction or skid resistance, like texture of a pavement surface, condition of a pavement, type of and condition of tire, whether it is old or new, then speed of vehicle. If speed is heavy, then sudden application of brake may not provide sufficient grip or sufficient friction. Because of that, it may slip, it may skid. And then extent of brake application or brake efficiency. If brake efficiency is too high, then the moment you apply the brake, it will be in rest position. But if it is not proper, then definitely it will take some distance to come to rest. Then load and type of tire pressure. If load is more, then momentum will increase. If tire pressure is too high, then the friction between the tire and pavement will be less. So this may affect the skid or skid resistance or friction. Then temperature of tire and pavement surface. Increase in temperature of pavement surface may influence the skid resistance or friction. So these are some of the factors that influence skid resistance.